When we hear the name Thanos, the first thing we remember is the snap, and how this snap turned the world into rubble right in front of the MCU Avengers. But of course, the cinematic universe is only one of the gazillion universes where Thanos brought his unique brand of death and destruction. In Marvel's Ultimate story arc, he wrecked the lives of, well, the Ultimates, an exceptional group of superhumans who joined forces to fight against evil and protect the world from harm. You know, the basic superhero stuff. Their strength, skill, and courage are unmatched, making them the ultimate defenders of humanity. And yet they couldn't stand a chance before the mighty Thanos. So in this video, we will explore Thanos and his destruction and catastrophic powers on Earth 1610, a different universe where Thanos engages with our friendly neighborhood superfamily and friends, the Fantastic Four. So fellow Marvelians, sit back and relax because this one is going to be one hell of a bumpy ride in a totally distinct universe. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin. Seed 19 and Fantastic Four. A rocky start. Reed Richards and Susan Storm were casually strolling through a cosmetic store when the Seed 19 squad crashed the party. So, Seed 19 is just one of many Seed units that Halcyon created to stand up against and protect themselves from the Acheron Empire, which is led by Thanos and is known for its dark forces. Their leader, Threshold, scratched his head wondering why they got a one-way ticket to Earth courtesy of someone called Seed. As should be expected, things got messy real quick. Sky Eater, their sentient ride, was immobile, while Tesseract 1, the most potent Seed warrior known as the Everywhere Man, was seriously injured and incapacitated. The group encountered a gun-wielding security officer. However, facing him was a piece of cake for Threshold, who absorbed the bullets, while Vicni, a member of Seed 19, effortlessly converted store debris into a monstrous entity, which felt like a stroll in the park. Okay, I might have oversimplified things there a little. It was a hellhole, but fret not, all was not lost because Sue Storm, aka Invisible Woman, swooped in to save the day. Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, sliced the monster, but Dreamcatcher, another member of Seed 19 and Threshold, tag-teamed and showed them who's boss. Furthermore, New York's finest rolled in just in time. Threshold got Dreamcatcher to work her magic, cloaking the Seed 19 crew in human disguises. They ditched Sky Eater, their ride, and casually sauntered away, leaving the cops baffled. No one's putting their foot down. In Central Park, Threshold realized they were stuck on Earth. Bummer, right? Meanwhile, Tesseract got a makeshift hospital in the trees, and Vicni tended to Sky Eater while the gang plotted their next move to recover the Seed and return home. Back at the Baxter building, Reed spilled the beans about the Seed 19 invasion to Johnny, aka Human Torch, and Ben the Thing, the two other Fantastic Four members. Sue and her old man, Dr. Storm, examined Sky Eater, dropping the bombshell that their photogenic ride was also on its deathbed. Dreamcatcher comes clean to the gang that the Seed was detected in the Baxter building. In response to Reed's attempts to communicate with it, the Seed hit him with a bright light that consumed him. Hold on to your seats because Seed 19 just crashed into the building. However, Johnny and Ben caught wind and met at the elevator. Unaware they were dealing with interdimensional superheroes, Johnny greeted Fountain, and lo and behold, Johnny turned into a Human Torch, feeling the burn like never before. Not in a good way. About to blow a fuse and go nova, Ben, the muscle of the Fantastic Four, intervenes and pulls a superhero move. He Hulk smashes a wall, tosses Johnny out, and lets him unleash his fiery fury in the open air. Crisis averted, for now. But hold on to your hats, folks, because it's showdown time at the Baxter building. Ben, our rock-solid hero, and the Baxter building soldiers are gearing up to face off against Seed 19. But Magnificent Brute, a member of Seed 19, leaps into action, launching her neurotoxin attack on Grimm, leaving him in a state of incapacitated awe, while the Seed 19 are laser-focused on finding Seed, and nothing's going to stand in their way. Meanwhile, Reed's in the cosmic realm with Seed, who turns out to be the boss lady of Seed 19. She reveals that her superhero kids are named after her and are generally likable, at least if she gives Reed the thumbs up to keep breathing. Sue's tending to Sky Eater when the alarms go berserk. Seed 19, now incognito, is hunting for the Seed thanks to Dreamcatcher's mind tricks. Sue throws up an energy barrier, but Threshold and the crew aren't the type to back down. Dreamcatcher dives into Sue's thoughts, and Papa Storm demands they cut it out. That gets him a mini subdued from Grail Fountain, and things take an unexpected turn. Best Son of the Year, Galla Glass. In downtown Manhattan, a new player, Galla Glass, Thanos' son, and his Acheron task force crash the scene. His motto? Capture Tesseract alive and set the town ablaze with his victory. Seed explains to Reed about Seed-19's military upbringing and the peaceful Halcyon, but the war with Acheron's got something to do with Reed. Seed needs Reed's smarts for a bigger picture. Just as Reed is about to ask her something, Galla Glass appears on the radar. Seed tasks Reed to take care for her children, bids farewell, and Reed wakes up in bewilderment. At that moment, Galla Glass unleashes star matter havoc on the NYPD, and back at the Baxter building, Threshold's having a reality check while Dreamcatcher sets the record straight. The Fantastic Four didn't steal Seed. Seed wanted a new crew. Threshold does admit to being at fault. The gang, Johnny, Reed, Ben, and the Baxter building's finest confront Seed-19, but it's not a cozy reunion. Reed tells them to take their seed and leave, but when they peek out the window, they're dumbfounded. Galla Glass has turned Manhattan into his wrecking ball. It turns out that Acheron tracked Seed-19 after Seed-19 busted Tesseract out of Sheol, their prison, and is willing to capture him again. Threshold appears to the FF for their help, and despite their rocky start, Sue gives the nod to help. In Central Park, Tesseract makes contact with Acheron forces. Vickney's tree buddies get axed, and Tesseract pledges his loyalty to Galla Glass. Meanwhile, Fantastic Four and Seed-19 roll up to Central Park, spot Galla Glass with Tesseract in tow, and teleport into a dragon spaceship showdown. Things just went from saving the city to saving the galaxy real quick. Who is Thanos in Ultimate Universe? Alright Marvel fans, fasten your belt for a cosmic roller coaster with the one and only Thanos, ruling the mighty, endless Resurgence Empire like a boss. We're talking thousands of worlds under his thumb, all centered on the powerhouse planet Acheron. His empire runs on draconian policies, and any planet thinking of resisting faces swift, brutal consequences. This guy's not your friendly neighbor. He's the galactic overlord you'd cross the street to avoid. The story begins in the cosmic capital of Acheron, in Bejulbador, where Ronan the Accuser and the royal advisor Grulber are parading around with a seamlessly lifeless Thanos. The guy has been out of touch and was busy quashing a rebellion on Pix. Upon asking about Thanos' well-being, Grulber informs Thanos is pulling off a 49-day nap, claiming it's one of the longest immersions. The dude's expecting to be the Hulk of the Immortality game once he rises again. But here's the kicker. Grulber is disappointed that Ronan didn't follow Daddy's orders to execute Pix's males above age 10. He's eyeing those prisoners like they're leftovers at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Meanwhile, in the cosmic void near Pix, the Fantastic Four and Seed-19 get a not-so-friendly welcome from a living spaceship named Redeemer, which can be described as a cosmic Uber, but way more hostile. Galla Glass, the ship's captain, is cooking up plans to either capture our heroes for recreational use, yikes, or just straight-up death. Talk about between the devil and the deep sea. Galla Glass's folly. But here's a plot twist. Remember Tesseract's little rebellion against the Seed when he contacted Galla Glass in Central Park? Something interesting happened, and you should know all about it. Yeah, blame it on neural implants. Seed-19 and the Fantastic Four boldly go into the Redeemer's belly, only to get their rides wrecked by Galla Glass and his goons. Susan's force field gets a rude awakening when Galla Glass dissolves it like it's nothing. In the meantime, over at Acheron, Cordwine, to wake his lord, Thanos, from his deep slumber, is sacrificing the Pixians. Rebels turn prisoners left and right. Thanos, upon waking, demands his son Galla Glass. Cordwine reveals the Tesseract to be in Galla Glass's possession, but Thanos says something unexpected. It's not Tesseract causing all the colossal ruckus. Back on Redeemer, it's a total interplanetary face-off. Brute and Grim are on the ropes, Reed's trying to play hero, and Galla Glass is doing his victory dance. But hold up, Susan, the unsung hero, steps up. Release my companions or confront the full force of my celestial fury, she warns. Galla Glass laughs it off, but Susan pulls a mind-blowing move with the help of Dreamcatcher, controlling Galla Glass's force field against him. Boom! Galla Glass goes kaboom, and Redeemer bites the cosmic dust. Cut to Pix's Ironwater City, where a Pixian girl spots the fallen star, aka the wrecked Redeemer, and wants to make a wish. Her mom's not feeling it, given their not-so-peachy situation under Acheron's rule. But the kiddo insists, just for luck. A little cosmic luck never hurts anyone, right? Pix, a travel destination not on the Fantastic Four's bucket list. Alright, so the Fantastic Four had a not-so-fantastic landing on Pix. Johnny's practically running on fumes, unable to spark up those fiery vibes anymore. Reed's stuck in special handcuffs, not an accessory one would love to flaunt. Tesseract's knocked out and in dire need of a doctor, and Ben's just there, all jittery and cursing their rotten break. But Sue's not having it. She gives Ben a reality check, No time for a pity party in the vastness of space. But there's a surprise turn of events. Sue figures out Dreamcatcher's presence as she pops out of Johnny's body and leads the Fantastic Four to what can only be described as a torture emporium, fully loaded with more tech than one can imagine. It's like stepping into the celestial version of an evil genius's lair. Reed, being the genius he is, wiggles out of those special space cuffs. Teamwork vibes, right? Ben and Dreamcatcher team up to find some energy fix for Tesseract. Now, cue the return of the big bad. Thanos is back from his brief death, and he ain't wasting any time. He's got minions, and he's eyeing those crash survivors. One in particular. Thanos also orders to get Reed Richard, aka our beloved Mr. Fantastic. Over on planet Halcyon, by the World Tree, Darien, leader of the planet, and his wife Erdura are plotting the ultimate clash with Thanos and decide to prevent Thanos from communicating with Reed, or all would be lost for their planet, and death will be everywhere. Back on Pix, Ben's caught up in emotion witnessing a family on the brink of Thanos' wrath. He is not having it and goes all fury mode, disrupting the fun execution party for Thanos' lackeys. Dreamcatcher comes clean. Thanos' goons have high-tech toys to track them down. And when the FF thought things couldn't go more terribly for them, Thanos decides to make a little appearance, taking control of Ben's body. Reed's in for a chat with the evil lord, and you can bet it's not a friendly neighborhood heart-to-heart. Hold on tight, folks, the game's afoot. Can Thanos get any more villainous? Thanos plays puppet master with Ben's body and tries to convince Reed to build him a cosmic cube, which he once owned but was destroyed by Mother Induna of Halcyon at the cost of her life. He puts forward his twisted logic of freedom and free will, which according to him leads to disorder and chaos. Some twisted logic. Reed, being the brains of the Fantastic Four, ain't having any of that and shuts him down. But wait, Thanos takes the drama a notch higher and threatens to turn Johnny's skull into a pancake if Reed doesn't play ball. Eeks. But listen up, because this is where things get spicy. Ben's not having it. And what time is it? It's rebellion time. With a little help from Dreamcatcher, Thanos gets the boot. Meanwhile, Ronan's touching down in Ironwater City, ready to join the family business of creating havoc. He's eyeing the ruins, plotting and scheming, typical villain stuff. Back with the Fantastic Four, they're catching a breather, thinking they've escaped the mayhem. But hold on, Thanos' minions crash the party. Reed teleports the entire crew back to New York City, and all's well that ends well. Well, not quite. Ronan's pulled a sneaky move, following them with his ultimate weapon, where he plans on playing judge, jury, and executioner. So buckle up, peeps, it's hero time with a side of intergalactic drama. Cosmic Cube of Thanos. Tesseract and his gang pull a crazy move, snipping lower in mid-Manhattan from its roots and tossing it into space, along with a fancy cosmic cube barrier. A space road trip gone wrong. Now, Tesseract is perplexed, wondering where the concrete jungle vanished. Surprise, surprise, it landed on Thanos' planet, making the Mad Titan the unintentional landlord of the Big Apple, who was just waiting for this galactic genocide to unfold before his own eyes without taking any personal responsibility for it. The Fantastic Four, armed with the cosmic cube, stroll up to Thanos' land like they own the place. Thanos, not one to back down, has his whole squad of villains on one foot. However, Thanos plans to deal with the matter personally and throws down the gauntlet. It's a classic winner-takes-all scenario. Reed and Thanos dive into a psychic showdown, but Thanos, being Thanos, isn't playing fair. He digs up Reed's painful memories, the ones with his old man and a belt. Reed is knocked out of his senses, seemingly dead, and Thanos seizes control of the cube. It was one heavyweight psychic bout. The Mad Titan sure knows how to play mind games. Things took a little drastic turn, and we see the Ultimates, the world's premier superhuman strike force, still scratching their heads over a part of New York City just disappearing in thin air. Iron Man complains about his sleek Mark 6 armor. Yes, the same armor gone, thanks to Halcyon's meddling, and the Ultimates find themselves in the middle of an intergalactic storm. But wait, the showstopper arrives. Manhattan, Thanos, and a twisted villainous version of the Human Torch, an invisible woman, teleport in and grace them with their appearance. Suddenly, the Ultimates have a front row seat to the celestial drama they didn't buy the tickets for. Thanos goes on hooting his own trumpet about how he is a savior for the poor Earthlings and will lead them to a world where there is no confusion, doubt, and disorder. Well, someone seems to be way over in his head. Thanos the Tyrant. Meanwhile, our rocky buddy Ben Grimm gets a one-way ticket to paradise, courtesy of Atreya, Thanos' daughter. She's got her reasons, claiming she's saving him and expects him to be grateful to her. Ben, on the other hand, just wants to get back to his crew and help them ward off Thanos. Atreya, though, has other plans, summoning her Omni Chariot to show Ben the wonders of Thanos' shiny cosmic cube. In the deep cosmos, Ben gets a crash course in Thanos' family history. Atreya reveals Thanos turning Sidrus, once a planet and its inhabitant Sidrians, into a popsicle with a cosmic cube. The first one which fell out of the sky over Acheron like a comet. And why? Only to test the cube's power. She goes on to explain how Thanos is familiar with death and rising from it, someone not to be taken lightly. And since Atreya saved Ben from facing such jarring consequences, she owns his life. But Ben's not buying Atreya's forced romance. She wants him to be her lover. But Ben comparing her to dear dad? Not exactly a mood booster. Things get heated, but Ben manages to get a ride back to Earth, and the Atreya girl realizes she's got to take a few therapy sessions about his daddy issues. When Ben manages to get himself out of this pickle, the same cannot be said about the Ultimates on Earth. The Ultimates face off against Thanos, Human Torch, and Invisible Woman, all powered up and ready to turn Earth into a mass rubble. Thor, the Lord of Thunder, turned into a tree. Cosmic Cube in Thanos' hands? Say goodbye to the Ultimates. And soon, Thanos gets down to business. He builds a massive spire in NYC and reshapes the planet like it's his cosmic playground. Oceans turn to stone? Check. Earth branded with his sigil? Double check. The Mad Titan's got big plans. In Thanos' New World Order, influence heroes are spreading his illustrious gospel. Sue, Johnny, the Ultimates, and a bunch of Earth's heroes dance on Thanos' tunes like puppets thanks to the almighty Cosmic Cube. Earth's on the brink of a complete remodeling, and Thanos is reveling in his mad reign. Back on Acheron, Ben and Atreya stumble upon what seems like Reed Richards burnt to a crisp. But here's the curveball. It's not Reed. Thanos' galactic drama just keeps unfolding, and we're all just trying to keep up with the chaos. Who's complaining though? Thanos' fate in this universe. But wait, there's a glimmer of hope. Atreya, Thanos' daughter, teams up with our rocky buddy Ben, forming an unlikely alliance against Daddy Dearest. They stumble upon Reed's seemingly lifeless body, but guess what? Reed just pulled a long ruse. He turned into a spirit trapped in his own body with the help of the cube's power. We love a nerdy superhero, don't we? Atreya pulls Reed out of his brief snooze and he's ready to roll. The trio then zips to Manhattan and Reed proposes a plan. Step 1. Ben distracts Thanos. Despite Atreya's worries about Ben pulling a trick on Thanos, the Thing's all in for his pals. And can we blame him? Well, then Reed gets going. His mojo is unstoppable and he begins with breaking Johnny and Sue free from Thanos' mind control. But Thanos is not going to tolerate this. He slaps them down, ready to dish out some twisted torture to Reed. But get ready for some serious excitement because Reed's got a trick up his sleeve that will blow your mind. A loaded cosmic cube with a cosmic cutout that only responds to conscious, willed thoughts. Thanos spills his guts, wishing for death like it's going out of style anytime soon. And bam! The cube delivers, turning Thanos into a speck of dust and nothing. Earth 1610 gets a reset along with the Ultimates freed from Thanos' mind control. Reed then tosses the cube through a cosmic time portal where it lands on Acheron, some 30,000 years ago, again in the hands of a young, unsuspecting Thanos. Phew! Disaster averted for now. The extraordinary powers and abilities of Ultimate Thanos. Since we are already familiar with all the villainy Thanos can do, let's talk about his powers, which make him the ultimate villain. He is a live wire gigantic and could make everyone standing in his way shudder. But can you blame him? With a body like a sturdy rock, he is unbreakable and deathless and can withstand any attack thrown his way. It's hard to fathom the immense strength and incredible durability of this individual. It's the kind of stuff that legends are made of. And it doesn't end here. Thanos possesses psychic powers that surpass mere superficial mind reading. He can dominate anyone's thoughts, even the brightest minds like Reed Richards. It's like he's redoing every nook and corner of your brain with his cosmic energy manipulation powers. And let's not forget his unique, everlasting love for death, immersing himself in it and arising stronger each time he returns. He's unrivaled, and the universe is nothing but a playground for him. In a nutshell, Thanos is not your average next-door villain. He rules with an iron fist, always scheming and plotting. His idea of diplomacy involves threats, intimidation, and a dash of cosmic cruelty. Okay, I might have undersold him. He is a savage beast, making galaxies fall and rise at his whims when he is not taking a nap in the land of the dead. But Thanos isn't just about clout and robustness. He's got brains to spare and is a master manipulator, pulling strings in the background with delight and a contorted sense of responsibility for balancing the world, making it less chaotic. Someone certainly needs to stop playing God. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.